welcome to On the Money. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, and I'm joined today by Ryan Wheless and Peter Lott of Allied Wealth. How are you today, Ryan?
Cynthia, I'm great. We've been out here recording radio shows and TV shows. Been out here with you this whole week. It's been awesome, a great time. Enjoyed here being with Pete as well, and
thank you, bud.
Helping educate the great folks at Houston about financial planning and retirement planning and all the things we do at Allied Wealth.
Yes, which really encompasses everything about planning properly for retirement. Peter, how are you?
I'm great. I'm glad to be back. Glad you guys will have me, that's for sure.
Oh.
We love you, Pete.
Absolutely.
I'd like to think so, right?
We have so much fun on the show, obviously. But again, talking about such an important topic, planning properly for retirement. So many people in the viewing audience might be watching us for the very first time today, and they're wondering, what is this show about on the money? Well, obviously, planning properly for retirement. So, Ryan, I have to ask you, when you're talking about planning for retirement, what are some key things that people should be thinking about?
There are so many things to think about. The biggest one, though, is people tend to focus on a number. Like, how much money do I need?
Right.
And I'm different. I'm like, why don't we focus on what you want to do?
Yeah.
Right? What do you see yourself doing in retirement? Who are you with? Where are you? What are you doing? Right? And if you get that vision down, then we back into how to fund that vision. And I'm a financial advisor, and one day I want to retire, and my vision is to have a boat in Cabo that's a fishing charter and a restaurant, both of which lose money.
That's more fun, right?
It's a lot more fun that way, and I prepared well for retirement, and I can afford to do it, right? So, But even myself, I have a vision of what I'm trying to accomplish, and now that I've got that vision, I'm making moves. My wife and I and my family are making moves and financial decisions and investments to move in that direction, in that capacity.
Yeah. So
yeah,
really
we talked about this on the radio, though. Everybody has this unique financial fingerprint.
Yeah.
So where you're different from the next person, you'll be different from the person behind them. And we want to get to know you on a level so that we can really fill that void for you and have the tools in front of you that work for you. And that's based on getting to know you with that lifestyle. What you want to do, what's your vision for retirement? Figure that out, and that way we can kind of vibe with you and start to bend and mold this thing so it's suitable for you, so it's custom for you. Instead of just some cookie cutter approach that everybody gets, you get something that's really made, custom, tailored for you.
Without a relationship, Cynthia, you're just another number on an account statement at a big name box firm.
That's true. That is true. And you give individualized attention to every client that comes in. And that's what they love so much about working with you and with the office, is that they feel like no matter how busy you are, that you're taking the time to really listen to them, because that is the greatest gift that you can give your clients, truly, is the gift of listening.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things that we work so hard to do, is understand who you are, where you want to go, what you want to do. And there's times that people have come in and I say, hey, what is your vision? And they say, I don't really have a vision. I'm like, listen, let's put the brakes on this. Let's get positioned financially to where you can retire. But I would suggest that you keep working for a little bit and craft in your mind what you see yourself doing. Because the worst thing you can do is go home and sit in a lazy boy rocking chair and sit there and watch Netflix all day. Your health will decline very quickly.
Yeah, quick too.
Absolutely.
The first thing everybody wants to do, though, is get rid of the alarm clock. Unplug that thing, throw it away, which that's the fun part, right? Get rid of that stuff, but have that vision. Where do you want to go on vacation? How many vacations a year do you want to take? How can we fund this through retirement for you so that you don't have to worry about a market decline or something going on in retirement that you can't help because you didn't plan for it?
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of planning, let's talk about today's topic, the retirement red zone. What exactly does that mean? Pete, let me ask you, what's the red zone?
Retirement red zone is really a time in your life where either it's 5 years before retirement or 5 years after retirement. So there's kind of like a 10-year gap there. You're in that retirement red zone where you want to start making plays towards retirement so that when that day comes, you're not thinking, oh my gosh, I got to call somebody right now. We got to figure this out because I'm retiring next month. Let's do this in advance so we have time to plan it. We can get the targets in line for you, and we can come through these hurdles as we move through there. That way, on the date that you retire, it's a lot easier. When we can do it in a shotgun approach, but having some time makes it a lot easier on us, makes it easier on the client, and we can really build those goals and visions.
It's a better approach too, folks, because you get to take time to know us and determine before you actually retire if we are the right firm for you. And if we are, great, we can engage. But if we're not, you can still have time to go out and find somebody else to work with, because you need help. Financial planning today is a do-it-yourself world. You've got this 401k. what do you do with it? You've got this pension. What do you do with that? Do you take the lump sum? Do you take the payout? What do I do about Medicare? If I'm retiring at 62 and I can't go on Medicare until 65, what do I do about health insurance? What do I do about taxes? I mean, all these things come into place, and to try to navigate this on your own is just a minefield, and if you get it wrong, you can really mess yourself up for the duration.
Absolutely. What are some of the things that people should be thinking about, Ryan, if they're in the viewing audience today and they're like, you know what, I think I want to retire, but I'm not sure?
So, if you're in that red zone, what we see a lot of people that they're successful, but over the years, maybe they work for one oil company, then they go to an engineering company, and they go somewhere else. And when they leave that job and go to the next job, they go in their office and they take their box and they get their coffee cup, they get their personalized pens, they get
The
their
plant, everything.
the plant, the
plant,
TV, maybe their
yeah.
putter if they play golf or whatever, and they walk out of that office with that stuff and they leave. But guess what they leave behind? Their 401k, which is likely their largest asset. And so if you're somebody who's in that red zone 5 years out from retirement, even 10 years out in this case, and you've got a bunch of old 401ks out there, I highly encourage you to take a look at the options available to you outside of those 401k plans, folks, because there's 401k plans today only have about 25 or 30 mutual funds to invest your money in. And oftentimes they're watered down funds, and there's ways to have your money outside of that plan working better for you. And then Pete had an example recently to where we discovered that there were two old 401k plans out there, and they were kind of working against each other.
They were working against each other, and they're kind of canceling each other out. So you want to have those looked at and put those into a plan to where we can build it. And once it's, like I said, like Ryan said, once it's outside of the 401k, you have so many more options available to you.
Okay.
25 to 30 different options really isn't enough sometimes to make that 401k do what you want it to do. And a lot of people, they come in, it's funny, they come in with a plastic bag full of papers, a grocery shopping bag full of papers, and they've got 3 or 4 of these things, and they lay them on your desk, and we start going through them and put into one place. So it's easier now to just go to one website, you look at one set of statements instead of having 3 or 4 different statements that you're trying to thumb through, figure out how they're allocated. You have it all in one place, and it's so much simpler.
That does make it so much simpler, so much easier to understand. Well, Ryan, I know that you and Pete have a very special offer to present to the viewers at home. Why don't we talk about what that is before we open the phone lines?
Well, absolutely. From previous shows, folks, we offer the Financial Flight Plan at Allied Wealth. This is a comprehensive, holistic approach to financial planning and retirement planning. And what we do is we look at your risk tolerance and your risk capacity. We always say risk tolerance is what you think you can lose in a down market. Risk capacity is what you can actually afford to lose in a down market. We then look at your income plan, your investment plan. We build a tax plan to allow you to keep more of your hard-earned dollars in your pocket while giving less to Uncle Sam. We build into it healthcare strategies to help you get through retirement, your golden years, and try to mitigate that $300,000 expense that you're likely going to expend on healthcare through the golden years. And we want to make sure we build a legacy plan that allows your money to pass your beneficiaries, the beneficiaries you actually want to get the money, by the way, in a manner that allows that when you're passed on, that your family still talks to each other, and Christmas isn't awkward, and TV dinner or Thanksgiving dinners aren't awkward. So that's all part of the Financial Flight Plan, folks. It's so easy to get. You call 844-944-7555. Again, super easy to get. Calling 844-944-7555. Tell the folks that answer the phone, hey, I'm looking for the Financial Flight Plan. You also notice a QR code with the event with COVID. We all know what QR codes are these days. You got to go to the restaurant,
you go to.
get the menu right on the QR code. We've got a QR code there. You can also check us out at onthemoneytv.com.
Ryan, thank you so much. Pete, thank you so much. To the viewers at home, the phone number to call is now on your screen, and that number is 844-944-7555. We know that you have a lot of questions about how to plan your perfect retirement. Ryan and Pete have the answers for you. Again, that number to call is 844-944-7555. We're going to take a very short commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about the retirement red zone and what that means for you. Stay tuned.
As a good saver, you've been putting away money during your working years. Studies find that the biggest fear of retirees is running out of money. Market volatility isn't just the downward movement of stock prices, it's the size and frequency of change. The more dramatic the ups and downs, the higher the volatility. This can put savers who are newly retired or a few years away from being retired at greater risk. Today's generation of retirees is not receiving traditional pensions as our parents or grandparents did. Instead, we have retirement accounts such as 401ks or 403bs. These accounts typically expose your money to market risk. The last thing you want right before retirement is to lose a portion of the money you need for income. But how do you turn these accounts into a retirement income? Is it safe to keep all your retirement money sitting in the stock market? The last thing you want is to lose a portion of the money you need for income due to market loss. By working with a financial professional, you can learn how to turn a portion of your savings into an income stream for life and income for the life of your spouse if you're married. We all have moments in our lives when we wish we had taken action sooner. Don't let procrastination reign on your retirement parade. Act now before it's too late. Please call our office to set up your no-cost, no-obligation retirement income review today.
And welcome back to On the Money. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, and I'm joined today by Ryan Wheless and Peter Lott of Allied Wealth. Gentlemen, a wonderful show we're having today, talking about the importance, of course, of planning properly for retirement. We're talking about entering that retirement red zone. One of the things I'd love to spend time talking about in this segment would be clients that are perhaps taking too much risk, or they were unaware of the amount of risk they were taking until they came in. Peter, anyone that you've talked to recently?
Absolutely. I just had. We had a client come through maybe about 6 weeks ago. We started working together, and she had been left some inherited funds. Her husband had passed away kind of unexpectedly, and she had this portfolio that had just recently lost a lot of money for what she felt. And she kind of had a gut feeling to give us a call, and I'm looking at her statement, and it says basically it's a super aggressive, super high risk portfolio, and I'm thinking, why would a 65-year-old widow have a super aggressive portfolio? Like nobody's
Right.
driving the car here.
Yeah.
And I showed her, I brought that up through some software that we used, and showed her just how this thing can move, and I showed her what we do. We can take and minimize the risk and still achieve a good, decent rate of return. She was working currently, and the volatility, like I said, it really scared her. So she comes over as a client, and she still continued to work. Well, about an hour ago, I get a call from her, and she's super excited. Actually, I get a text, can you call me? And she's super excited, and I give her a call, and she says, Pete, I'm gone. I just hit the retirement button. I'm out because I feel comfortable now.
Wow.
She can make it through market ups and downs, still get the paycheck that she needs, and she doesn't have to worry about losing 15, 20, 30% of her life savings in a market drawdown.
That's
and super neat to see that
incredible.
now she's retired, she's going on vacation, and we're talking money just to finalize everything and get her gone. But yeah,
Oh
she quit her job
gosh.
today. So
That's
and not because she
life-changing.
Job
wanted
is
to,
optional.
because she just not because she had to,
Yeah.
because she wanted to.
Yeah, that is life-changing.
It is, it is.
Absolutely. Well, Ryan, on the other perspective, do you ever run into clients that perhaps aren't taking enough risk?
Yes, we do. We see people that are just so fearful of taking any risk whatsoever, and if you got to take some risk, because right now we got inflation going crazy. So if all your money is sitting in the bank, you're not getting any return on your money, and you're really losing money while you sleep at night.
Absolutely.
Because the purchasing power of your dollars is going down, and you're just it's a silent killer, right?
Yeah.
So we've got a guy that was not a fan of President Obama getting elected, and thought that the markets would do terrible under President Obama, and went to cash and stayed in cash the entire time up until now. Wow. Okay, and so this person missed out on a lot of growth, and he came into the office and told us his story. And he's just caught in analysis paralysis and doesn't know what to do. And I showed him, I said, listen, let's just look at a 6% compound annual growth rate on your money. And that $1.2 million would have been worth almost $3 million today.
Wow.
And I showed this gentleman that. He's like, Ryan, I need help. I can't fathom losing money. I made a bad decision. I've let that resonate with me. I've let it dominate me and control me. And I've got to get away from this. Can you please help me? And I said, yes, I can help you, but the question I have for you, are you willing to accept the help I'm going to offer you? And we went through a bunch of testing scenarios. I showed him investments with risk, investments with no risk, a combination of risk investments and safe investments, some tax efficient stuff. We went through all kinds of things together. And this was over several meetings, by the way.
Okay.
And we finally arrived at a point where he is comfortable moving forward. And he's starting to be more relaxed and kind of getting over the mistake that he made and moving forward in retirement. It was such an awesome thing to be a part of, right? And, you know, we spend so much time talking about too much risk, but we also should spend some time talking about this scenario too, because sometimes you got to take a little bit of risk to get the money where you need it to go so you can enjoy retirement.
And they tend to be the hardest ones to educate, but that's where we start. We start at square one and just show education of how these tools work. Because I think that's the fear is they don't know how these tools work. They've maybe worked for them or for against them, and now they get scared, hit the cash button, and they've been sitting in cash through one of the best bull markets we've ever seen. And that's not just that guy. That's a lot of people that are out there.
A lot of people out there.
But to get them comfortable investing, you have to provide the education, and we do a great job of educating our clients, but on a level to where anyone can understand. Not to where it's all these complicated terms and strategies, but get it to where just about anybody can understand it and help them with their money.
We have clients come in, Cynthia, that have acquired $2, $3, $4, $5, $10 million. And you know, our junior advisors come in and sit in those meetings with us because we're always training our junior advisors because we're a growing firm. And they're looking at these folks like, oh my gosh, this guy's got $10 million. He must know everything under the sun about money. And the reality is they don't, because they're not financial advisors. They acquired their wealth in businesses or being an employee at an oil company or
it wasn't their job.
You know, and they didn't do finance for a living. They were good savers and good accumulators and made some good decisions along the way. But so many folks don't have an idea about money. And this is interesting. It was this basic. This gentleman with $10 million was caught up on the fact of, Brian, if I leave my job and stop my $500,000 a year paycheck, how does the money actually get from the investment account to my checking account to spend? I mean, and this guy was a very intelligent person who had done very well financially. And it was amazing because I was like, listen, it's easy. We set up your account at TD Ameritrade. You tell us what we want to have coming in. You want to have coming in per month. The money comes in to your checking account every single month like clockwork. And TD Ameritrade also withholds taxes.
Yep.
So I made a joke with him. I said, yeah, so if you want $20,000 a month, we can get that for you. You've done a great job saving. But if you get $20,000 a month, you have to spend it all. And what you don't spend, you have to give to us.
He's like, oh, okay.
He's like, oh, this is great.
That sounds
That's the best thing
wonderful.
ever.
This sounds like a trick.
I love it. Well, Peter, what types of questions do you ask to establish someone's comfort zone with where they should be with their risk tolerance?
Oh, that's awesome. I really start with just, why are you here in the first place? Why did you call us? Where is your pain points? What have you been doing? But I really like to get to know people very close, because once you engage that relationship, it's a long-term relationship with that client. And you want to make sure that you're close. And I give my clients my cell phone so they can reach me at any time if they've got questions. But it's just getting to know that person and spending the first part of that meeting just getting to know each other. I want to know what your goals are. What do you want to do in retirement? What's fun for you? What do you guys like getting out doing? I mean, where do you eat at? Things like that. Just little things to get to know people so we can really custom tailor that plan to their liking. Because by knowing that, while they're telling me that, I'm thinking, okay, well, this guy might like this. He might like this. They may not like this, just by knowing those things. So just getting to know someone,
just
really.
Listening.
Just listening.
That's the key.
Shutting up and listening.
We communicate with our clients weekly, Cynthia, and we have actually, and we talk about your clients having your cell phone numbers. I got a call at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And it was on a Sunday because my client had gotten this report that we send out every single week to show them how their accounts are doing. And he's on vacation in Italy. And he had done really well that week. And the guy called me and said at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it wakes me up. So I'm answering. I'm thinking somebody's dying. So I answer the phone. I'm like, hello? He's like, hey, Ryan. Oh, my God, I forgot the time change. I'm so sorry. I'm like, hey, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. He's like, sorry, but listen, I was just calling to say thank you. It was so awesome today to be on vacation in Italy in my retirement and get that report showing that we'd done so well this week, man. Thank you so much. And I'm like, That was kind of cool.
That is very cool. Absolutely. Oh. Well, Ryan, I know that you and Peter have a very special offer to present to the viewers at home. Let's talk about what that is once again before we reopen the phone line.
Yeah, if being the guy who called me at 3 o'clock in the morning, and who's out there in retirement spending money with confidence resonates with you, you should absolutely take advantage of the Financial Flight Plan. It's super easy to get, folks. All you got to do is call 844-944-7555. This is not something that we just send out to you. It's an interactive program that we have to have you engage with us. And to engage is easy. It's 844-944-7555. Call the number with the folks to answer the phone. Say, hey, I'm calling about the Financial Flight Plan. I'd love to meet with Ryan and Matt and Peter. You could also click the QR code at the bottom of the screen there. You can check us out at onthemoneytv.com. And I can promise you this, Cynthia, when you and the folks at home take advantage of this offer, they will come into the office, they will learn more about what they've got than anywhere else they're going to go, and they will walk out of there with a lot of confidence. And folks, one last thing I want to talk about is upcoming in the break, you're going to see a commercial, a very powerful moving commercial from the Mighty Oaks Warriors Foundation. It's a program that we support to help soldiers fight PTSD. We have 20 soldiers a day take their lives on U.S. soil, and Ryan Wheless and the team at Allied Wealth just won't stand with that. We want to get that number to 0, so please support the Mighty Oaks Warrior Foundation and check out this great commercial.
Ryan, thank you so much. Peter, thank you so much. To the viewers at home, the phone number to call is on your screen, 844-944-7555. We're going to talk a little bit more about the Retirement Red Zone, but first, please watch this very important and touching video. We'll be back momentarily.
Many of our veterans feel they need to fight their battles alone. This self-isolation has led to the staggering statistic of more than 20 veterans taking their lives every day. The mission of Mighty Oaks is to eradicate the veteran suicide epidemic and help our warriors change their legacies. We've been able to help over 4,000 veterans and first responders by equipping them with the tools they need to live the lives they were created to live. Our faith-based, peer-to-peer approach has one of the highest success rates of any program available today, offering hope and understanding to those who need it most. By aligning their lives to biblical principles, these men and women are able to lead their families, their communities, and our nation. It's your generosity that can make a difference in the lives of the men and women who have fought for our country and our freedoms. Now that they're home, don't let them fight alone. Learn more at mightyoaksprograms.org.
And welcome back to On the Money. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, and I'm joined today by Ryan Wheless and Peter Lott of Allied Wealth. Gentlemen, such a very important and poignant video that we just shared with the viewers at home. Obviously, it's a cause that's very close to your heart and you're very passionate about. Ryan, I just want to take a couple moments just to ask you why this cause in particular.
It's just, we have, first and foremost, my dad was an F-14 pilot in the Navy. He served the Navy. My brother's a warrant officer in the Army, and I didn't go into the military. My dream was to fly jets off an aircraft carrier. That didn't happen for me. I still fly jets, though, folks. So go ahead, Pete.
See,
He'll tell you the first 5 minutes of knowing if you don't already know. We're about 20 minutes into this episode.
So anyway, Cynthia, the thing is that, through helping people, I have been blessed. And it just, for me, when I found out about the Mighty Oaks Warrior Program, it dawned on me that my purpose in life was to serve our military members. So not necessarily serve in the military, but to serve our veterans. And that's what I get to do by supporting Mighty Oaks Warrior Program.
I love that. Thank you so much. It's very important.
My pleasure.
Absolutely. Well, I want to talk a little bit more about that Retirement Red Zone. Great question I have for you, Peter. I want to talk about something that we were talking about during the commercial break, the in-service withdrawals. Can we talk about those and how they tie into the Red Zone?
So in-service withdrawal is if you have a 401k plan.
Okay.
And typically you need to be over 59.5 to do this, but you can pull funds from your 401k and roll them over tax-free into an IRA. And the reason, the benefits behind that is, one, your 401k may only have 25 to 30 options you can choose from. Well, if you roll it over to a traditional IRA, you have the entire investment universe that you can invest into.
Thousands and thousands
of options that you can utilize to do that. Plus, you get management of it. Most people in a 401k, it's kind of a buy and hold.
They're self-managing it.
Yeah, they're just kind of holding on there. They're looking at the news to try to figure out if they need to make a change. Whereas now you've got a professional managing it for and helping you guide around the different turns and navigate through the market for them. And if you're 60 and you're going to retire at 65, doing an in-service withdrawal is going to do you a huge service just to get those funds out there. The 401k stays intact. You still keep contributing to it, but you remove that big bulk from all that risk.
Wow.
And move it into something that's tactically managed so that you have someone paying attention to it, to whereas now it's not on your plate anymore.
Wow, that's awesome. Does this work for everyone, Ryan?
It does. And Pete said 59.5. There are some cases that you can do it at 55. And to Pete's credit, you know, you do open up the world of investment options out there to you. And it's interesting because I have a lady that came in and she had $1 million in a pension and $1 million in a 401k. She worked with one of the big oil companies in town. And I was like, listen, you know, I'm just curious. I want to ask you a very candid question. I said, how much of this money are you willing to lose today? And she says, Ryan, I am kind of got it made. I'm not stupid. I know that I can take 4% a year out of my accounts and make $80,000 a year for the rest of my life, not including my Social Security. I know I've got it made. And I'm like, well, right now, half of your money is in this 401k, and it's allocated to 100% stocks in the stock market. If we have another major downturn, you're going to be in a situation to where you're going to lose a lot of money. So does it make sense for the fact that you don't want to lose any money, that you're in a 401k plan that you can get out of via an in-service withdrawal, by the way, and all the investment options in that 401k plan are at risk? So you don't want to lose money, yet you're at risk options, right?
Yeah.
So there's ways to move money out of that 401k and take a lot less risk. There's some programs that are safe and guarantee you can't lose money at all. And we were able to show her ways to take advantage of safe money vehicles, blended with some risk money or some lower risk portfolios that she couldn't get inside of her 401k. And now she knows that without a doubt, she's got retirement locked in. She's got it nailed.
Wow. That is fantastic. So really what it's coming down to, Pete, is people need to come in and share their specific story so you can help design a plan that's going to suit their needs, no matter what.
No matter what. And if I can't help them, I will tell them. Right up front, I can't help you. You know, you're doing great, keep doing what you're doing. But if there's things I find through our research and analyzing their portfolios, I'm going to tell them.
Yeah.
And see if we can build a program for them that fits them.
So really, it's very important to have a second opinion.
Absolutely,
correct, Pete?
100%.
Wow.
We always say, do you have enough confidence in your current financial advisor or your current financial plan to seek a second opinion? The answer to that question is absolutely yes, folks. It's yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, Ryan, I know that you and Pete have a very special offer to present to the viewers at home. We only have about 1 minute and 15 seconds left of the show this week. What would you like to share with them before we say goodbye?
Well, folks, we offer a financial flight plan, and what that is a comprehensive 10,000-foot view of your whole situation. We look at your risk capacity, your risk tolerance. We build out an investment strategy that matches your risk tolerance and your risk capacity. We want to help you develop an income plan that allows you to go out into your golden years and spend money in retirement with confidence, even though the stock markets may be down. We want to show you how to get every nickel out of Social Security that's already rightfully yours. In addition to that, taxes, I believe, are going to be your largest expense in retirement. That's contrary to popular belief of being health care, by the way. I think it's taxes. I want to show you how to mitigate tax liability over the long term so you can keep more money in your pocket while giving less to Uncle Sam. And all you have to do, folks, to take advantage of that offer is simply call the number. It's 844-944-7555. Again, 844-944-7555. Click the QR code. Check us out at onthemoneytv.com.
Gentlemen, thank you so very much. To the viewers at home, thank you for spending time with us. The number 844-944-7555. Be safe, be happy, be blessed. See you next week.